Juliet's going to renovate a bathroom to give it a design and style upgrade. If you love indoor plants but your thumbs are more brown than green, Melissa has some high-tech help, while Charlie has a more down-to-earth solution.
If you are a notorious plant killer, you are going to love some of these plant choices.
What busy family home isn't a little bit like Grand Central Station? Especially in the mornings when everyone is rushing to get ready for work and school. And if there's one high traffic area that is put to the test more than most, it has got to be the bathroom. First thing that hits you in the face is this brown, very dark brown, and the red tiles.
Yeah, so we actually started renovating the house about a year ago when we bought it, and we've basically whited out the whole house.
Is this the only bathroom in the house?
This is the only family bathroom.
I'm just going to measure this because it looks like the space in between the shower and the bath is only about 270. It's tiny, and all these really sharp edges, which with small children around...
It's not safe. It really isn't.
So let's fix all of that for you. And as you say, you love white. I can tell as I walked through the house, the kitchen and the living space is all very clean and fresh, and you'll be amazed at what we can do in such a small space. Hey guys, what a day
Juliet.
for a bathroom rip out, hey?
It's sensational.
Thank you.
Let's get stuck in.
Okay,
do
come
it.
on, let's do it. Oh, wow. Get out of the way.
How do I work with those two?
You're a machine.
Yeah, look at that, muscles. This is where things get really interesting. A 40-year-old bath. Let's see what's underneath.
Whoa. Oh, my God.
Oh, wow, it is even worse than I thought and just proves how important it is to waterproof a bathroom properly. But the main culprit for why there is so much moisture in here and why it smells so damp is this leaking pipe. It looks like it's been leaking for years. So I reckon this bath came out not a moment too soon. So what's the plan? I want the bathroom to have a modern, stylish, spa-like feel. And when you're renovating a bathroom, it's the perfect opportunity to rearrange the floor plan to optimise the space that you have available. So I'm going to shift some things around and really open it up. The first thing I'm going to do is move the bath to this wall, and that will make it a lot longer. Both little girls can even hop in the bath, and then there'll be a shower over that. I'm moving the toilet to the other side where the bath was, and then next to that, I'm doing a beautiful wall-hung vanity that Adam is kindly making for me. And all of that means that this central space in the bathroom will be free for traffic flow and movement. As for the design palette, I'm going for an ultra contemporary white on white look because the homeowners love it and it's timeless. And all of the surfaces will have a beautiful soft matte finish. For the walls, I'm using an extra large format Spanish style subway tile, which has an uneven organic surface. And then for the floors, to add in some colour and interest, I'm using a blue and white tile that has a geometric pattern to it. The top of the vanity is going to be this frosted white, which will go over the cabinet that Adam is making in this beautiful whitewash timber. And then the finishing touches will be modern matte white tapware and circular basin. And to finish off that luxe look, I'm using a brand new silicone, Selly's Wet Area Silicone Sealant, which now comes in matte white. And I'm using it around the bath, shower and vanity. It will seamlessly integrate all of the components so that the whole room has that cohesive and premium designer finish that we're after. The guys are doing a great job removing all those old red tiles, and now I'm dealing with this timber in the lower half of the room, which has obviously been affected by moisture. I'm going to remove all of that, but I am keeping the timber on the ceiling and around the top of the walls because the VJ paneling is super fashionable right now. We're going to save time and money by not having to tile all the way to the ceiling. The strip out is done and the room is back to its bare bones, which means it's time for the exciting part, the tiling, painting and getting those fixtures in. Want to take a peek? Hard to believe that this is the same bathroom. It feels so much more spacious and brighter. The key structures are in. We've got the bath there. We just need the toilet and the vanity. But now it's time for tiling, and that is something that you want to give a lot of thought to, from size to colour of your tiles. So chat to your tiler in advance so that the execution is exactly as you planned it. And that is a vital element that will dictate the look of your design at the end. You'll remember that I'm using these beautiful large format subway tiles on the walls, and there are so many different ways that you can lay these. If you went for a horizontal look like this, it would be traditional. You could also do a brick layout, herringbone, even basket weave. But for this little bathroom, I am going with a vertical stack because it will create those modern, elegant lines that I'm after and also add a sense of height to the space. But what about the floor tiles? Well, when you're shopping for tiles, especially ones that have a pattern, it's really important to select a few and have a look at the composition in its entirety. But these ones, I'm happy to say, are going to be perfect for this bathroom. With the tiling finished, this room now has so much more personality and sophistication. And it's time for the toilet to come in. Thanks, Scotty.
You're welcome.
You can really see now why I've chosen an in-wall system. It looks much more streamlined and it's easier to clean too. And in a tiny little space like this, it's really important to use all of the real estate available. So we've recessed this shelf into the wall the whole way along and it looks much more modern. Absolutely gorgeous. I love this bench top as well. And this unit being wall hung means that it doesn't encroach on the space and makes it seem bigger. It's a great visual design trick for a small space. This whitewashing on here also blends beautifully and softens the unit, but my favourite feature is this very clever toilet paper roll that's hidden inside. And the toilet paper, well, that goes in there. And our recessed shelf is getting a beautiful stone back to match the countertop. Pick me up at 5, let's be on the way. Lovely. So let's be honest, in a small area, people are much more likely to pay attention to interior details and finishes, which is why it is super critical to get your sealant choice just right. To complement all the beautiful matte finishes in this bathroom, I'm using Selly's Wet Area Silicone Sealant, and it comes in a brand new matte white, which will give a much softer, more integrated look. And it's ideal for a quality vanity like this to seal the joints and also for use in any areas exposed to water. This 100% waterproof sealant provides a beautifully seamless finish. It's long-lasting, has a flexible waterproof seal, won't shrink or crack, and it's mold resistant too. Mirroring forms in design is a very clever tool to use, and here I've done that with these circles. It balances out all the straight lines in the room, and this mirror is on a bracket, which means you can move it around, and it's perfect for hiding away those toiletries that you don't want seen. Okay guys, ready for the big reveal?
Let's do it. Oh. Wow. Pops, look at this.
God.
Oh my gosh.
What do you love the most?
We've just got a family bathroom, sorry.
Oh, Hannah, I'm so happy.
This is so amazing.
Yeah, wow.
Thank you so much.
And you've got everything you need. You've got a bath for the girls. You've got this beautiful rainfall shower. The towel rail's even heated.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I got other plans. I got other plans. Yeah, I'm working on my hands. Girls be saying,
I'm sorry, is this our bathroom?
This is wild, isn't it?
baby, I stand. 'Cause I'm
So you love it?
This is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
This is amazing.
That's what we're here for.
Wow, yeah,
Just
we're blown away.
truly blown away.
Now, who doesn't have an indoor plant baby rehab centre like this at home? There are some pretty sad-looking patients here. But all hope isn't lost. With a little bit of gardening know-how and some technology that I've found along the way, I'm going to show even you serial indoor plant killers how to give your plants a new lease on life. Now, the first thing we need to do is diagnose the patient. So you could be having problems with light or water or pest and disease, or something could be going on in the soil. Now, you might be surprised to know that the biggest killer of indoor plants is actually overwatering. So yes, we are killing them with too much love. Now, the hard thing though is that many plants will exhibit similar signs to being overwatered as to being underwatered. So you might see yellowing foliage, leaves browning off, or the plant might droop. But don't automatically assume that you need to get out the watering can. Now, you could use the finger test, or for a more accurate way, you can get your hands on one of these three-way meters. Now, when I pop that in, you'll see that that's actually really wet. So back off the watering, let the plant dry out, and then cut back any of this dead or dying foliage. Of course, different plants have different growing needs, and this app is a great way to not only identify the plant that you've got, but understand how you can keep it looking good. Now, I know what this plant is, and I'm sure you do too, because it's one of the most popular indoor plants. So this will be a tester. So we just take a photo. It's identifying. And it's spot on, the fiddle leaf fig. How cool is that? It even talks about its health state, care, watering tips, fertilising, you name it. All right, so let's test it on another plant. There you go, the mistletoe cactus. So again, the health state, all these nice little tips on how you can keep your indoor plants looking happy and healthy. Many indoor plants come from tropical or subtropical areas. So you can imagine a lot of them are growing in rainforests with a canopy above, and that's what makes them perfect for the low light conditions in our home. But as you can appreciate, they often enjoy high humidity, and you can improve the humidity around the canopy or increase it just by quite simply spraying the foliage with misted water from time to time. But if you want a more comprehensive view on the environmental conditions inside your home, then there's a clever little gadget for that too. This is a smart home weather station, and it comes with 2 units, so you can measure the conditions both outside and inside your home. And not only does it deliver the data live to your phone like this, but the indoor data measures everything from temperature to humidity. There's even something measuring indoor air quality, which is probably so good because the whole place is filled with indoor plants. So what about watering your plant babies when you go away on holidays? Well, this device does the work for you. So you all know about outdoor automatic watering systems. Well, this is an indoor automatic watering system. And what it does is it basically acts like a pump. So it draws water from a reservoir like this. I've just used a small container, but of course you can use any size container. And then it delivers the water directly to the plant's roots. You can also program how long and how often you water. Now, just one tip from me. If I was doing this at home, I would ensure that I removed the grower's pot, took it out of the cover pot first before I set up that watering system. You could maybe put it somewhere like a bath, or I would set this dripper to a really slow drip just to make sure that water doesn't accumulate at the bottom of the cover pot. Because remember, you don't want to overwater or drown your plants. So the right technology can definitely help us to garden smarter and provide us with some insight into how to care for our plants.
As I'm walking around the nursery, there's lots of nice plants to take in, but this one has really caught my eye. Now, this is a pandaria. Normally, this sort of climber is a scrambler, which means it gets to the top of the fence and scrambles along, leaving the fence pretty bare with just foliage at the top. But take a look at how dense this is. This variety is called flat white, and I love the way it's completely engulfed the fence, but it also grows as a ground cover, and it's completely covered the ground in this way as well. You can grow it as one or the other, or just like this, in both directions. And this is the spot we're going to be working in. You can see we've got lovely gardens and a bit of a bare patch, but it is a tricky spot to be planting in. It's hot and exposed because we've got a bit of a wall. It goes through periods of being really dry, but it also floods up here as well, so it gets really wet. Now, the planting that is already here, this is a Poa Estale. This one is a blue variety. It doesn't get as brown as the smaller one behind us, but a great base to start with. First thing I need to do, though, is pull all the mulch back, and then I'll set my plants out.
That's when you feel it alive, alive, alive. That's when you feel it alive.
You'll notice with the set out, I've got the plants that are going to get bigger in the centre of the garden bed. Now, the reason for that is to separate the two varieties of Poa, but to give us some rise and fall in the garden bed. This one is called Pennisetum Cream Lear. Now, I absolutely love this. In autumn, it really shines because it gets covered in these incredible flower heads. Now, this likes a hot, sunny spot, which is great because when the light hits these flower heads, it looks absolutely luminous. As the garden bed tears down towards the front, I'm using a lower shrub. Now, this is Westringia Monday, incredibly tolerant of dry soils and wet soils. If it's in wet soils, it will get bigger than if you were to plant it in dry soils. The thing I like about this is you get covered in white little flowers, and you could either clip this into tight balls or you could leave it into its natural shape, which is really quite a nice loose shrub.
You've been living in the shadows, but they just prove there's a sun.
There are a lot of lamandras on the market, but I chose this one because of its foliage colour. It's sort of a limey green which stands out against the rest of the planting. This one also gets a profusion of flowers, like absolutely covered in it. The name is Katie Bells, and it's an absolute ripper. In the front of the garden bed, I'm just using the smaller plants. If I put them at the back, they would get lost. I've got a Dianella called Lucia. It's got these really lovely red bases to the leaves, and then I'm going to mass plant out the front around the rocks with this Zoysia zen grass. Now, this is a no-mow grass. It's fantastic. It's going to creep all over the rocks, really soften it and give it that Teletubby look, just to finish everything off.
Sunset, moonlight, too tired to ride to you tonight.
The last plants to go in are the white flowering pandarias that we saw earlier, flat white. Now, they're going to grow up over this wall and even over this degraded ground, but they're also going to grow in and amongst our plants, creating a ground cover that's going to help to suppress weeds. It's amazing how just a few extra plants add texture and colour to this garden bed, but because they're all Todd's super plants, we know they're going to last for years and years.
Troy and his family have been farming here for 100 years. Now, originally it was beef and soy, but these days it's all about the broccoli. Mate, you are doing fantastically. As I say, how's it growing?
Growing well. Growing well, Ed. Yeah.
What is it about here in the Lockyer Valley that works so well?
Well, we always say the first thing is a great soil.
Yep.
Second is a great climate. And in the Lockyer Valley, we've got both.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, you probably heard of the Lockyer Valley for the flooding that happens from time to time, and that's terrible and amazing all at the same time. What does it do for you that's good?
Well, in the floods, where we sit here today, the water was running over these farms and it deposits the topsoil, and hence the reason we've got fertile soil.
Yeah.
Keep up the fight, climbing new heights. Never
How do you know when your broccoli's good to go?
Well, the size is what we look for. We're looking for a 140 mil crown, and yeah, that's how they're ready, basically. But you can eat a broccoli from 100 mil to 200 mil if it stays nice and green and fresh.
So what about this one here? Is this one about right?
That's perfect, Ed.
Oh, you know, it's how I roll.
There you go.
When you get your broccoli, how should you keep it? Because you want it to be in best possible condition.
In the refrigerator.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
In the crisper, yeah?
In the crisper, yeah, of course.
Look, the most important thing, of course, is don't leave it in the plastic bag. It'll sweat. That's no good for it. Now, what is your favourite way to enjoy broccoli?
Well, I usually eat it steamed with pine nuts and feta and some olive oil on
who's the little gourmet?
it. That's just me, though.
What's the one way you should never cook broccoli?
You wouldn't want to boil it, I would reckon.
Oh, he's a smart man. You should never boil broccoli. And the reason is that when you do, all those sulfury compounds, think Brussels sprouts. Remember, these are all brassicas: cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, Brussels sprouts. They're actually one family. So if you know that stink you can get, that's what you're going to have. I've got to say, mate, the one question I get asked more often than anything else about broccoli is, why does it have the stem on when you go to buy it? What's your answer?
Well, it's a handle, Ed, to pick it up by.
Oh, very clever, very clever. I thought it's because it's edible.
It is edible, it is very edible, and it's nutritious.
Indeed, no different to the rest of the broccoli.
Exactly.
I just tell people to peel off the rough bit on the outside and then chop the middle. Stir fry, what else? Snacking for kids,
Snacking.
what else? Salad, he's an absolute genius. Once you get all this beautiful broccoli, you need something to do with it. And I tell you what, winter is the perfect time to cook it. Speaking of which, you don't grow it year round here, do you?
Well, broccoli is traditionally a winter crop, likes the cool weather. So, you know, southeast Queensland's perfect for this time of the year, and then it moves south during the summer.
Like Tassie and southern Victoria.
That's
and the
it,
like,
yeah.
The stars